Hello, sports fans. It's me, Bob Zolke, Sportsman Z, back again as promised with numbers 5 through 1 of the worst Hall of Famers according to Paul Ledusky of Stadium Talk. And this list appeared in Stadium Talk a few days ago. I believe it was. So anyway, we're doing 5 through 1. Again, I had done the video, there's 25 of them, and I had done 2 previous videos that did numbers 25 through 6, so you might want to go back and check those out if you haven't seen them. But here is number 5 through 1. If you don't want to look at this until you've seen the other one, go back and look at it. But anyway, I'll give you a second to do that if you want to turn this off and come back to it. But here we go with numbers 5 through 1. And then I'll give you my bonus pick that I would have personally put on the list. So number 5 was Jim Catfish Hunter. Might be a little bit of a surprise. He played for the A's. He played for the Yankees. He played 15 seasons, and per 162 games, he had a 16-12 record and a 3.26 ERA with 240 innings pitched on average. His WAR was 2.53. Again, WAR, wins above replacement. I won't go into that in this video, but anyway, that appears to be what Peter Ledusky was using to rank these players. And he had 5 World Series titles. The Yankees, probably at least 1 or 2 with the Yankees, and at least probably 2 with the A's, I would imagine. Number 4 on the list is Rube Marquard, pitcher Rube Marquard. He pitched 18 seasons in the majors, and per 162 games, he was 14-13 with a 3.08 earned run average, and on average pitched 238 innings per season, per 162 game season. His WAR was a 2.51, and he won 19 consecutive games in 1912. But again, I guess the WAR is what's putting him here, 2.51, because really a 3.08 earned run average is really not that bad. It's better than some of the other guys on the list that had higher overall WARs. So number 3, recently inducted Harold Baines, and yet again, another White Sox player. Yes, I know. Outfield DH, and I think really what really hurts him here is it was light on the outfield and big on the DH. He played 22 seasons, though, which is more than a lot of guys on this list, and per 162 games, he had a 289 batting average, 22 homers, 93 RBIs, and only 2 stolen bases, which is not really worth mentioning. He had a WAR of 2.22, and he was inducted in 2019, as I said recently, 2019, by the Veterans Committee. He never led the league in any category, and I think what really hurt him was that over the last 9 seasons of the 22 that he played, he had a grand total of 2 innings played in the field. So I think that's really what hurt him. And I think that's what that's why a lot of people didn't want to see him in the Hall, or they thought other people were more deserving, which, and one of those is Dwight Dewey Evans. If you go look at him, you'll see statistically he matches up favorably in a lot of the offensive categories with Baines, but he also played the field a lot longer and a lot better than Baines did. And so a lot of people argue that if Baines is in, Evans has to be in, and I think that's where you start down the slippery slope. Well, this guy's in, and this guy had stats commensurate with this guy, and so he belongs in, and then you start to you induct a guy like Jack Morris, and then everybody who was better than Jack Morris, and there's probably a lot of them who aren't in the Hall of Fame, they start to say, well, if Jack Morris got in, I should get in. you just start down that slippery slope. Number 2 on the list was Tommy McCarthy, outfielder, played 13 seasons. Per 162 games, he hit .292 with 6 homers and 93 RBIs and 64 stolen bases. Although really we don't know this for sure because he played back in the day when statistics were shoddy and statistics weren't kept on absolutely every category. So it's guessed that he had 64 stolen bases, and we also don't know how many times he was caught. So that there is that. He had a 2.06 lifetime WAR and one championship, which was in 1892. He was, Paul Ledusky notes, he was the pioneer of the hit and run play. So, I mean, there's that, right? And then number 1 on the list is Pirates outfielder Lloyd Waner. He played 18 seasons, and per 162 games, he had 2 home runs, 49 RBIs, and a .316 batting average with a .353 on-base percentage and a 1.39 WAR. So I guess really what's killing him is the lack of power, particularly for an outfielder. But still, a .316 batting average and a .353 on-base percentage lifetime, that's really good. So anyway, that's Paul Ledusky's list. And here's one that I'm going to add of my own and maybe take off one of those guys that I mentioned in the other videos that I don't think really should be on the list. I think that when he did this, he probably went by straight WAR. And I understand that, WAR is supposed to be an all-encompassing stat and take into account, whether one guy is better than another guy, and even I'm not sure about this, but even maybe taking into account the different eras and all of that. But still, I think there's the eyeball test, and there's just the common sense look at things like like with Waner, a .316 batting average and a .353 on base percentage. Even if you got those and you got no power, you would take it. So I think that you gotta use some common sense there. But my bonus pick is Phil Rizzuto, shortstop for the Yankees. He played 13 seasons because he missed. He could have played 16, but he missed 3 due to military service. And per 162 games, he batted .273 with a .351 on base percentage, 4 homers, 55 RBIs, and 15 stolen bases. He only had a .706 lifetime OPS, and his WAR was 4.06. I don't remember offhand, but I think the 25th guy on Paul Ledusky's list was like a 3.46 WAR. So Rizzuto just missed. I mean, if there was like 27 or 28 guys, or certainly 30, if he had said the top 30 guys who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, Rizzuto probably would have been on his list. And that, again, is assuming that he was going by straight WAR. And again, I don't think you can really go by that. But Rizzuto only had 4 good seasons, and only one of those 4 was a great season. The other 3 were just good. Outside of that, he was just your run-of-the-mill, light-hitting shortstop. Also, in 9 we'll say postseasons, I'm not really sure if there probably wasn't an American League, any kind of American League championship series or anything when he played. So, but in 9 postseason appearances, he batted .246 with just 2 home runs total in all of his postseason appearances. So, in the postseason, he was really just a glove man, is basically what's going on there. So I would have put Phil Rizzuto on this list, and there are some people that were on the list that I don't think should have been on over like a guy like Rizzuto. So, but what do you guys think? Is there anybody out there, anybody else you can think of that you know of that's in the Hall of Fame that you think, no, that guy shouldn't really be in the Hall of Fame either? And is there anybody else that you can think of that should be in the Hall of Fame? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Leave a leave a comment for me. Let me know. I'd love to hear what people out there think about this list and how it could have been different and how it should have been different. Do you think that using war alone, not that I know for a fact that he did this, but do you think that using war alone is good enough, or is there like an eyeball test or a dig into the stats a little bit more beyond war that you should be considering when you do a list like this? Let me know. Hit the bell so you get notifications when I put up more videos. I plan to keep putting up the videos, putting them up as long as I can and as often as I can. And when I come up with good content to talk about, and give me, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if there's anything else in the future you want to see. I'm always willing to take suggestions and put up new videos. So for right now, it's me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.